The Daily Express article claims that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were humiliated because the National Portrait Gallery refused to display their portrait. But this headline is both misleading and unnecessarily dramatic. The article fails to understand or acknowledge how portrait galleries function, and instead uses the situation to craft a narrative aimed at portraying the couple negatively. Let's break down the points that show why this headline is biased and completely overblown. The misleading use of refused. The word refused suggests that the National Portrait Gallery actively rejected the portrait in question, implying an intentional public snub. In reality, galleries like the National Portrait Gallery own far more pieces than they can display at any given time. Rotating exhibits is a normal practice, and many works, even high-profile ones, are kept in storage for years before being showcased, if they're displayed at all. To frame this routine decision as a refusal is not only factually incorrect, but it also distorts the true nature of gallery curation. Additionally, no official sources have indicated that Harry and Meghan's portrait was uniquely refused in a manner that suggests it was up for display, but actively turned down. The use of this word is a deliberate attempt to conjure up a narrative of rejection, making it sound like the gallery is taking a stand against the couple when, in all likelihood, they are simply following standard procedures. The article's insistence that Meghan and Harry were humiliated by this non-event stretches the limits of reasonable reporting. How exactly were they humiliated? Were they personally asking the gallery to display the portrait? Were they involved in this decision in any way? The answer is almost certainly no. It's highly improbable that Meghan and Harry have any direct involvement in the curation choices of the National Portrait Gallery. The idea that a portrait not being immediately displayed somehow equates to their public embarrassment is absurd. Using the word humiliated is just another tactic to drive the anti-Meghan and Harry sentiment that tabloids like the Daily Express have been fanning for years. There's a difference between a routine decision made by a gallery and a couple experiencing a public disgrace. This article conflates the two in a way that defies logic. It's hard to ignore the clear bias in this type of reporting. Meghan and Harry have been targets of the British tabloid media for a long time, often subjected to criticism that borders on personal attacks. Headlines like this one are designed to fit into a pre-existing narrative, one where Meghan and Harry are constantly at odds with the UK, its institutions, and the royal family. By taking something as mundane as a gallery's decision not to display a portrait, a decision which affects thousands of other artworks, and framing it as a deliberate snub, this article reflects an agenda. The couple is continually positioned as being on the losing side of public opinion, and the use of emotionally charged words like humiliated feeds into this agenda. It's a thinly veiled attempt to paint them as outcasts and failures, a stark contrast to their actual intentions and actions, many of which focus on charity work and creating positive social change. It's important to reiterate that portrait galleries, particularly one as prestigious as the National Portrait Gallery, are under no obligation to display every work they acquire. They house thousands of portraits, and only a fraction make it to the walls at any given time. In conclusion, the Daily Express article is a clear example of clickbait journalism, designed to draw readers in with exaggerated claims of refusal and humiliation that have no basis in reality. Meghan and Harry's portrait not being displayed is a non-story, but the article inflates it into something scandalous to cater to a particular audience. It's biased, misleading, and designed to perpetuate an ongoing negative narrative about the Sussexes. Readers should recognise these tactics for what they are: an attempt to manipulate public perception through sensationalism rather than an accurate report of facts. Prince Harry made a notable appearance in New York City on September 22nd, 2024, attending a high-profile dinner organised by the World Health Organization, WHO. This exclusive event brought together prominent figures from various sectors to address the critical issue of violence against children and its impact on mental health. The dinner was held during the UN General Assembly's High Level Week and Climate Week, marking the beginning of a busy week for the Duke of Sussex. While Harry's presence garnered significant attention, it was his attendance without his wife, Meghan Markle, that stirred curiosity. The event saw the participation of several distinguished guests, including Queen Matilda of Belgium and Oscar-winning actor Forest Whitaker. The dinner focused on bringing awareness to how violence, particularly against children, affects mental health on a global scale. Not only did Harry contribute his voice to this critical conversation, but the presence of international dignitaries and mental health advocates, such as outgoing Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo and WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, highlighted the event's global importance. Harry, who has long been an advocate for mental health awareness, continues to use his platform to promote the well-being of children and youth, a cause that is deeply personal to him. His Archewell Foundation, co-founded with Meghan, has prioritised mental health, community building, and combating misinformation. This dinner provided an opportunity for Harry to further these initiatives on a global stage, aligning with Archewell's mission to uplift and unite communities. While Meghan Markle's absence from the event drew attention, it is not unprecedented. Harry has attended multiple international engagements solo, particularly those closely related to his personal charitable interests. Meghan, who remains deeply involved with the Archewell Foundation, has stayed behind in California, where the couple is raising their 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. Meghan and Harry's decision to operate independently for certain events allows them to cover a broader range of philanthropic work. Meghan has been particularly focused on women's rights and early childhood development, while Harry has honed in on mental health and environmental conservation. This division of labour enables the couple to have a wider-reaching impact, whether together or apart. The timing of Harry's appearance at the WHO dinner coincides with other major philanthropic activities in New York, including the UN General Assembly, where world leaders and global influencers gather to discuss pressing global issues. Harry's trip is not just about attending a single event, but part of a week-long agenda that reflects his post-royal identity, one deeply intertwined with humanitarian work and advocacy. While in New York, he will attend events for the causes mentioned earlier, continuing the work that he and Meghan have championed through Archewell. Harry's schedule is also significant as it overlaps with his brother, Prince William's Earthshot Prize Summit, which takes place in New York this same week. However, despite this, it has been reported that William will not be in New York for the event, avoiding a much speculated potential meeting between the 2 brothers.